I believe we are live. I believe we are live. Hello. I'm alive. I'm back. Just getting the stream started right now. Give me 1 second. Good morning. Good morning. Make sure the stream is good. Gonna do some live trading. Gonna tell you where the hell I was for the last 6 months. But mostly talk about trading. I can notify people that I'm streaming, but I don't know. All right, maybe just the Discord. First time back and everything. Let me just make sure it's actually streaming okay. Yes, it is. All right. I do want to show something new today. Something new. After all this time, yes, that's right. Why not? There's always more, isn't there? So I'm going to, how do I see the chat without you guys? I'll figure that out later. It has been a long time. I had back surgery. My life was in shambles. To hell and back. That's all I could say. I went to hell and back, man. I'll tell you all about it. Just to officially have something on my channel. So it's like, what happened to this dude? Well, I'll tell you. But also, I want to show some new stuff with trading, too. I'm trying to go to the Discord. Okay. Where should I go? FX Lounge? Is there a lounge? All right. I'm live streaming now. YouTube. We're going to get going. We're going to do some interesting things today. YouTube. Okay. So I told the hundreds of people in the Discord, which most of them are probably bots or something, because there's like 20 people online, that I'm live streaming. All right. Well, for today, I have to click on this to check the chat, but that's fine. I am definitely good now. Little leftover pain, but it's all relative compared to where I was. Okay. There may not be a lot of people here today. They may thought that I would never show up again. I didn't email my email list or anything to tell people I'm here. I'm just doing this to do this right now. Get back into it. I have been trading, but I have not been doing anything as far as sharing. I do want to show something new, which is a time-dependent trade also. So in about 17 minutes, I'll be set up and ready to look for a particular trade that I've been trading, that I've been testing out. I want to show it live, and share it. It doesn't mean go trade it. It just means check out this trade. It's been working. So I want to share that today. You are using candlestick. Well, today it's bars. Tomorrow it might be candles. And I have these stupid things that change on the bottom. It's Christmas time. But as far as the colors, yeah, bars, candles, whatever, right? Same shit. High, low, and close. However you want to put it. Yeah, not using candles, yeah. I've been using bars for a little while now. Maybe 6 months, I don't know. So I've been trading. I've been scalping the 1 minute chart. I've just been doing whatever the hell I want. Worst thing that can happen is I break even. I don't lose money, which is cool. I'm trading like patterns on a 1 minute chart for 5 pips while I wait for other setups, because I'm not like doing a live room anymore. So I'm just kind of like whatever. I have a smaller account that I can just play with small amounts to test things, which is one of the things I want to show today, something I'm testing out, which has to be at least 70% profitable, this trade. I'm sharing this for free. And it's time dependent. It begins in 15 minutes as far as the opportunity, and I'll show what that is. There's 3 people here? That's all right. I didn't let anybody know I'm doing this, except for the Discord, which is probably dead at this point. But I know this video will sit on my YouTube channel and build up views over time, and people will realize I'm back and all that. So, hi, people after October 6th that are listening to this. I'm going to show you a trade I've been trading, testing out. And this and that. So I got to find a way to get the chat. Like, can I pop out the window? Let's see. Pop out chat. Amazing. There it is. All right, cool. You can now pin a message, whatever. Okay. All right, good. There you go. Something like that. Did I just mess up the view of everything else? So I want to show this new thingamajig trade. Now I'm seeing if I messed up the view of the chart. I think we're good. Okay, I can move my chart around and it doesn't ruin what you guys see. All right, cool. So there's a trade that I've been testing out, which potentially begins in 14 minutes if there's a setup after that time. And I'm just watching the, okay. And it involves the pound. We could do some 1 minute scalping too. Plus the regular setups. But okay, here's what I'm looking at here. Again, there's not a lot of people here, but this will be on my channel, so people will watch it over time. So here's what the trade that I've been testing. It seems to be at least 70% profitable, roughly. I say at least. Especially if you're aware of days that have high impact news that may affect it, and this and that. If you skip certain days, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, Mondays have been fine too. Fridays too. So here's what it is. We go to the 1 hour chart. Now this is something that I noticed. Nobody taught me this. You look at charts long enough, you maybe start to notice things, right? So we're on the 1 hour chart, and this I'm applying to the pound. I was looking at a bunch of pairs. I took my time on this back testing. I started trading it live, testing it live with a small amount. It's been profitable. So at this time of day, right, we're 48 minutes into the pound, into the London session, right? 48 minutes in right now. That means in 12 minutes, that's where I can start to look for this trade. So it's after the first hour. So here's the first hour, which of course could expand a little more because there's some time left. But when this closes, we'll have the high and low of this hour, right? Now the pound works And guess what? It works on the euro dollar very well, applying it to New York session. I'll get to that. Hello. I'm back. From back surgery. Don't get back surgery. Well, unless you need it, then definitely get it. I recommend it. I'm much better now. So I'm sharing a setup that I've been testing out. Something I noticed, but just by looking at the charts, observation said, this is pretty consistent. I've been testing it. So we're marking up right now because we're almost 1 hour into the London session, marking up the pound dollar, the pound yen. It's obviously pound driven, this trade. It's pound driven. Typically the pound dollar and the pound yen correlate unless the US dollar or the yen is particularly active doing something. So that could affect one and not the other of these two pairs, right? But especially as you're in the thick of the London Open, first couple hours, we have this particularly pound-driven activity. That's what we're working off of here. So step one on this trade that I am testing that definitely looks profitable so far. Step one is high and low of the 1 hour candle. That's going to be done in 10 minutes, and we'll have that for sure, wherever that ends up. Step two, get the heck in there on the 5-minute chart, because you know how we do it. You might have to tighten this up. It's not MT4 like the good old days. Look how off that is. Anyway, we'll tighten it up when the hour is over. So you get your high and low of the 1 hour. This is actually the 3 o'clock here for me. 3 is London Open, so that's that. So there's a range at the moment. Now, what happens outside of this range? Sorry, I'm going too slow. What happens outside of this range, right? We're talking about a breakout or a fake breakout. But either way, getting above and below these levels, sometimes they correlate with other levels, doesn't even matter. Getting above and below these levels is an important decision point in where the pound is probably going to go for the next 30 minutes. Could be all day, or not at all. Could be 20 minutes, and then it reverses. But it's a big decision point. Once you get outside of these lines, above or below the first hour range of the pound into the London session. Pound yen, pound dollar. Those are the only two I've been testing. Oh, we have 5 viewers. Hey. So, and if you know my method and how I use volume and stuff, it's going to help you understand and implement this more easily. If you want to test it. So for example here, let's say we're done and in 8 minutes, the 1 hour closes and price breaks out of this range. That first hour is high to low. What happens there is very telling. If it breaks out and there's not a ton of weakness on it, it's going to be a real breakout. At least 70% chance, at least. Right? Now, on the other hand, if it gets above this level and there's high volume, right? Weakness, rejection, fake breakout, at least 70% chance it's coming down. That's right. I have tested this. The chart says, look, this keeps happening. What do you think about that? So I tested it. We'll see it live today. Now it's weird for me in the way that I'm just kind of doing something so mechanical after everything else I'm doing is all reading supply and demand and all this stuff. And this is just, well, that is too, of course, seeing what happens up there if there's a lot of supply, right? But it's a little more mechanical. It definitely takes some less thought. That's it, I mean, obviously, you can apply background analysis on where the trade may go, or if there's a level just above, you may want to wait and see what happens there, But it's pretty dumb. It is pretty simple. So in 7 minutes, I will show you how I deal with this thing. And so it's a new trade setup that I'm sharing. You could check it out. You could back test it. You could say, Pete, that sucks. You could say whatever. But it's been profitable. Obviously, you can go back and back test. I like testing things on a small account. That's what I like to do. Because back testing is certainly not the same as really testing it. And doing it on a demo, there's nothing at stake. It's too boring. Small account. So, and it's been working. Also with the euro dollar, this trade that may say set up in 6 minutes, or starting is when you can start to look for. Also the euro dollar, same thing. It seems like it's 10 a.m. from what I've seen in testing. 10 a.m. my time, New York time. That gives you that range of the previous hour, right, to look for this type of entry. And some of them have been really like trades that I would never take because XYZ, I do my analysis, and I'm buying, let's say like right here, if I end up buying, I'm buying right into resistance. I'm buying into the high of the day so far, which is a decent sized range, 70 pip range so far for the day, more. And I'm going to be buying right into the high if this gives me a long trade here. But then again, if it hits the high, and you could always manage it. But it has you doing some things you might not think of doing. And to see it work out is pretty hilarious. It's very mechanical. What's up? 14 views. So 4 minutes, we'll take a look at this. That's when you can define the previous hour's high and low and see if it gets above or below and how it reacts above or below that range. And that piece of information just matters more as far as what's about to happen now than, some nonsense before it. This, I like it because obviously you can get a setup earlier in the session, way before US. It sets up way before. And, sometimes you're waiting for trades that don't set up till later and all that. So it's nice to have something early. Also, as I've mentioned before, Holy Grail. Yeah, it's the Holy Grail. That's it. This dumb trade. It's just so dumb, but it works. We'll see what happens today. Again, it's not, I wouldn't say it's 85, 90, 95% win rate. It's definitely not. But it's certainly, from what I've seen in backtesting, valid. It's got to be at least 70. But, to come up with that, you got to do 50 trades and look at your win-loss and all that, right? You can't judge that stuff out of, 8 trades, 10 trades, the real win rate of it. But you never know what happens. You never know. There's one sort of death pattern of death that can happen and give you 2 losses, and it only happened to be 1 time. 2, yes, because you can actually, well, all right, we'll get to to what we do here. We'll see what happens. All right, so the high and low of the, again, I'm showing a new trade today. It's been profitable. I've been testing it. And the actual management of the trade, the basic explanation I already gave is very simple. You mark the previous hour high, low on the right pair at the right time. Now in 2 minutes is the time. So we have our high and low here, unless in the next 2 minutes it pops out. Starting from my time, New York time, 3 a.m. to 4. So this is the high and low. So we're sitting in the middle now. Now, if we're this low, this close to an actual low, this was 5 minutes before, I can just include that. Obviously, that's support. If we're talking about a breakout or a fake breakout or whatever, or testing, it's this area here. Okay. I figured it was going to break out to the upside, right? Nope. Let's see where this goes. That's the pound dollar. Here's the high of this hour's worth. There it is. Okay. So see what we get in 1 minute. Clicking on all the wrong things here. Where am I? Okay. So like I said, I've been trading this on a small account. It has been profitable. I've been trading my regular method, of course. Regular trades, and also scalping the 1 minute with really tight stops, which on my worst day I'm break even or lose a little. So I kind of just go for it. It's funny because you end up with the same things. There's nothing left except for this trade. You're going to like this. There's nothing left to learn. It's the same thing. I'm on the 1 minute chart looking at, okay, markdown accumulation, right? Starting to move up. There's lack of supply. I'm taking the 8 pip scalp up on the Wyckoff markup pattern on the 1 minute chart. And yeah, there it goes. The names may change. You want to call it accumulation. You call it an order block. Call it consolidation. It's all the same. Markup, inefficiency, trend. Too many different names for the same thing. It's all the same. 1 minute chart, daily chart. Same patterns. So we're seeing if this sets up. What is this? Hi, peoples. So now we are officially there, right? It's 1 minute after the top of the hour. So we have our high and low. I'm testing this at this time of day on the pound dollar and pound yen, which tend to either set up together or not together. They do very similar things. Because again, this is a pound driven situation here. Whatever's going on with the US dollar and the yen, not really something you even have to consider. One will set up and the other one won't, then, if they're really that different. So we're right in the middle area here. It's below or above, seeing how price reacts and going from there. It can be a high volume fake breakout. Then I'm looking for a long, which I might be doing anyway, according to my other method, but maybe not. If it's a break, you want to see low volumes. You want to see lack of strength. I guess I better get ready to enter. Jeez. Again, I'm taking this on a small account. I'm testing this. This is not like, I'm calling a trade. No. I am testing this and sharing it, and you see what you think if you care to check it out. So far, it's been profitable. I didn't go searching for it. It just kind of appeared on the chart. So here we are. If we break to the downside, everything cool? Our sound is good. We're here. We're good. Okay. If we break to the downside, it's potentially a short. But it has to behave right, and you got to wait for the 5 minute close. Also, in this case, do we want to consider that there's actually just a support right here that we'd be selling into? And how far is that? 10 pips. This is technically that hour, right? London Open is right there. All right. So technically we're below the level, and you consider a short entry here if the 5 minute closes properly, which means below the level, And basically, the lower the volume, the better. It's not really going to be low volume. But the point is, or you could say the higher the volume is, the less likely it is a real breakout to the downside. That high volume can then be followed by a fake breakout, closing back into the range. And I'm looking for a long entry in that case. So this is like, that's, if you know my stuff, it's the same old thing, but we're applying it to a certain situation here. Right? Makes sense? So again, we'll see what happens here. 1 minute until this 5 minute closes. If it closes in the range still, there's nothing to do yet. If the volume's average, then we really just don't have an answer about anything yet. Maybe that there wasn't a ton of buying, but we didn't really sit here and attempt to break too much, did we? All right. Anyway, we're in the range, so we wait. Now, again, there's not a trade every day, obviously. It could be a sloppy mess where, it comes down, there's high volume saying you don't want to go short, but it never confirms the long, and then it floats down. Or there could be, so it needs to be either a proper breakout where you expect it to be a real break because there's no strength. The 5 minute healthy closes down, right? They're not rejecting, price is not rejecting. It's a certain behavior. So it's all about this time of day, marking it up, and then honing in on that price area and letting the market tell you, this is what I want to do for the next half hour or 3 hours or whatever. So let me know what you think. Again, this is live, but I didn't tell anybody I was going to stream, just a Discord. So there's not a lot of people here. If you have questions, you can always, in the future, type it in the comments. Maybe somebody has an idea to improve it. I don't know. It's very simple, though. Low or high volume compared to which volume bar? The previous range. The recent range. Where the market's been for the last hour. I mean, logically, you want to say since London opened because that's when, that's where we are now as far as volume. We don't even expect this to ever show up right now, this low stuff. So, realistically, this is your, so if we could easily get the highest volume of the session, right, on a fake breakout, that is very likely going up and trying to break out of this high or at least to the middle of this range, at least. So it's like the higher the volume, the more it's likely to project and move up. If you get the fake break pattern, at least a double bottom, but it's almost always a fake breakout. Those are the best. So the higher the volume is, the more it's likely to be a real rejection that's going to bring it up. But yeah, it's all compared to where you are now in the market since London opened, yeah. So I've probably taken, I don't know what, but it's not a large enough sample size. It's pretty good though. I don't know, maybe 8 at least. 8 of these I've taken, testing it out. There's a pattern of death. This is what you don't want, right? This means the only time I saw this, I think it was a bank holiday. Monday bank holiday or something. Pattern of death is it tells you one thing and then does the other, right? Or basically you break out, maybe you take the short and then you get huge strength. It starts to come up. You close the short, you limit the loss, and you say, okay, I'm getting in the long. That's now confirmed. And then it goes down. That's the pattern of death. That only happened to me one time so far. Now, as far as risk reward and pips, it seems to be, if I had an average of what I've looked at back testing, and this, it's at least, you got to get at least 30 pips out of this thing, at least 25 pips. But it's all about trying to milk the cow as long as possible. If you may catch the move of the next, up until U.S. Open or whatever, the move of the day might come off of this. I've seen it plenty of times. Well, now that I've explained it, you can look back on the charts. Check it out if you'd like. So again, I'm back. I had surgery. I lived. Hell and back. I won't even tell you how terrible it was. I'm just going to skip it. Well, woe is me. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks. Couldn't lay down. Lost 15 pounds, like in 2 weeks. I don't know how I lost that weight so fast. Yeah, it was bad. All right, so anyway. I'm back, and we're testing a new trade. Something I have been back testing. I have been profitable so far doing it. Maybe I'll do, once I get to, 50 of them, I'll share the results and the stats. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe it isn't. See, we haven't closed below, so there's nothing to do here. So we're working off the first hour of London session. Between here, this low, and this high, and then the hour ended here. So there's our range. It kind of tried to break out. No, didn't want to do it. What's going on down there? Some buying. Right? If we're going to see buying, let's get another pop down and even higher volume. Clearly a fake break, not just like, is that a fake break? Is the volume high in the 5 minute? Let's see if we get something clearly showing strength. But the 1 minute shows a bit of buying, which you're kind of going to see anyway. Typically a volume increase into that level below, outside of the range. But this is inconclusive right now, right? It's not enough volume on the attempt to break for me to be going long. It's not a fake break pattern technically. At least not yet. This is the low. Obviously, I'm not going short while it's still in the range. Obviously, I'm not buying if I don't really have confirmed strength and a real attempt to get out, right? So nothing to do yet. And again, it doesn't set up every day, but really most days, yeah. So I figured that's a good way to come back to YouTube and share something maybe useful. You could check it out. This will be the video that shows that. All right, here we go. What's happening? Now, if we're going to go short, if I'm taking this short, again, testing this trade on my small account, the best thing to see, now this low is a little fuzzy because you have the low of the range and then you have these lows. It's not till you're here that you've really broken out. So if they both set up, maybe I'll at least start with this, and here we go there, and let me bring it there. So that's really the support. Now, the best thing to see here to go short is the close below, waiting for the close, and no high volume. If it's medium, if it's on the low side, good. If it's slightly increased over the recent range, not as good. A little discretion maybe tells you how good the trade may be. But in my experience looking at charts, the best thing you could see here for the short trade would be closing below the support at or near the low of the bar candle, at or near the low. No price rejection. And low volume. The volume could really drop off. Right? It's showing lack of demand off of support. So I brought the goods today. I don't know, maybe, right? So far, it's been profitable. I'm sharing it. It's good to be back. I feel like myself again. Hell and back, man. I hope you're feeling better. I am. Thank you very much. I really am. Just to feel just to not be in pain is a good feeling. What days will we be trading London? I don't have any sort of set schedule. I figured today was the first, let me just show up. And then, see what we want to do. But at least just show up again today. I had changed my setup in my computer and everything, so I had to get it all working again, set up right. But cool, we'll see what happens today on this. Right now, it's for lesson 1, if you're interested in learning this trade and testing it on your own, because it seems profitable so far. There's lesson 1 already showing up. Patience. Yeah, of course, Pete. It's not the setup. Why would we enter? Well, because that's what people do, right? Patience. So there's no close below. Either way, high or low volume, there's no close below. Now, technically, I keep moving this because technically this is the low of that hour, right? There's London Open. But then we have a support right there. And of course, I want to consider that support, but also technically talk about the setup. That's why I keep moving it. So, I mean, that's a fake breakout if you're considering that low, right? Then it is a fake breakout, but there's not enough volume on there that I'm jumping in long here. This one's kind of high, though. All right, maybe I am going long. See the 1 minute. A little more detail at the lower price area. Yeah, there's your low price. Yeah. Not quite good enough. Not quite good enough, right? Again, it's the higher the volume, the more likely it is to move up. This is almost there. It's just not quite good enough. If this popped up here, maybe slightly higher than this one, or even if this one was higher, because that's technically testing the level, that's not bad. It's like I almost want to do it, right? But no, if this was higher, then I'd be jumping in long here, right? As far as the simple, approach to entering this trade, that would be enough. But not enough volume there, so let's be patient. Anyway, I know some people watching this, there's not many people here, but it'll be on my channel, have had problems with sciatica. Your best friend. Sciatica, yes. So I had a disc pushing on a nerve. Some of you know all about this stuff. It's very common. We're out here suffering, man. Really bad. So yeah, I couldn't walk. I couldn't lay down. How you try to sleep when you're in so much pain and you can't even lay down? I was kneeling. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's a miracle. I'm back. I'm good. So that's my story. I'll say this: if you are, here's the problem, just to help, because I know it's very common. Here's the thing: a lot of things, ailments you get, you do this, you do that. There's a simple cure. When you're talking about your back and your nerves, your discs, and all this stuff, you are not. What is that? You're going to run into a lot of, thank you, good to be back. You're going to run into basically the chiropractor told me I need a chiropractor. All right, you can see where I'm going with this? This doctor said, I need them. This doctor said I need them. I felt like I was getting scammed while I felt like I was dying, and these people were trying to scam me. So when you're coming in, let's put you on the machine. We're going to stretch you out. I'm like, so I finally found a good surgeon, and he goes, let's look at your MRI together. Have you seen your MRI yet? I'm like, no one's shown it to me. He's like, what? They didn't go over the MRI with you? I'm like, no. Anyway, man, that chiropractor would have milked me. My insurance didn't cover. Would have milked me for thousands. He wanted to put me on a schedule 3 days a week permanently. And the last time I went, I was feeling worse than when I got there with this stupid machine that was like from medieval times stretching me. Asshole. And then he wouldn't stop calling me and shit. Come back in. When you coming back? Anyway, the point is, if you have this problem, beware of these. Just doctors just want you to keep going. If you need the pain management, if you need, get it. And don't settle. I won't get into all the stuff I dealt with. I won't even get into it. Bullshit doctors. But if you're struggling with this or anything, and you're not happy with the doctor, find somebody else. Get out of here. You know the vibe. These people, they don't give a shit. Anyway, that's my. I'm looking for this trade. I always get sucked into something. All right, let's see if it sets up. Should we just go with this for the low if we're talking about a breakout? The first hour is there, so yeah. All right, let's see what's going on. It's 4:20. You know what that means? We might have a trade. What are you thinking? So that's the pound yen. All right. So again, here we go. I'm waiting for the close. I hate when it happens at the beginning of the candle and you got to wait a whole 5 minutes. But if it pops up on high volume and closes in on the highest volume of the session, you'll be glad you didn't go short yet. Trust me, right? That's when he knew he fucked up. So again, I'm sharing a new trade today. I've been back testing it. It's been profitable. Look at it go. Wait for me. I'm being very disciplined. Now, if I go and change the rules that I don't have to wait for a 5-minute close, that's fine. But that's not what I'm testing. Oh, look at the 1 minute, though. I can't change the rules. I'm testing it. I really want to go in now. Oh, stop going. Stop it. It's already 10 pips. So I'm sharing this trade. I've been back testing. It's been profitable. This video will be on my YouTube channel. I have returned. I'm back. And see if you're interested in this. And so far, it's been profitable. I'm testing it. It's something that appeared on the chart. Nobody showed it to me. It came off of the idea that I know that people use. This kind of was the thinking that was attached to it. Let's see if there's an entry here. It's similar to the way people use the Asia range, right? So the high to low of the Asia session. And talking about breakouts and fake breakouts and working off of that. Which to me, it was like, for the most part, we need to get out of that area if we're going to get anything good. If we're going to really trend, if we're going to really see some activity for the session, let's get out of the range that it was in for Asia. That's typically you get the good setups once you do that. But anyway, some people work off of that. And I'm thinking, yeah, but what I see is the first hour of London. Now, here's something interesting about it. Let's see if we get a trade entry here. Is back in the day, because I've been looking at charts so long, I will tell you, maybe it changed around 2012. I don't know. Back in the day, you see London open, you see the volume spike. It used to not do that. It used to warm up very steadily most of the time. This one's a little higher, this one's a little higher, this one's a little higher, right? And 20, 30 minutes into London session, you're finally hitting the real volume. Now it's bam, right? London open, bam. Why? Probably because there's a bunch of orders waiting to come in to the market as soon as it opens, right? Logical. That's the The answer I came up with. So this probably wouldn't have worked before, the way things used to be. But now when you have all this activity here, right, and that first hour set, and all that rush to get in, right, at the open for some reason, whatever, good luck, you know. I don't take a trade that time. So it's like one of the times I will never get into a trade is right there. But good luck on these, right, all this activity and everyone getting in. But then what's the outcome? How does this resolve? Where are we going now? What did it all mean? Who won? You know, what is it? We're working off of high activity. We like that, right? And then the result of that high activity, right? It's that sort of thinking. All right, am I going short here? Look at the volume. It's not high. Testing this method live. I'm actually looking to take this on my small account, and so far has been profitable. Let's see what we get. So I'm waiting for this to close. No high issue with high volume. I knew I could have gone in sooner anyway, but I'm trying to 100% stick to the rules that I have so I could properly test this thing. And there's the close. All right, so I'm going to go into this short on my testing of the system. On the GU, that's a cleaner support. I'm doing it on my phone. Okay, so I'm testing this system on a small account. So far it's been profitable. And I can also go on the pound yen. So I'm splitting it up. I'll go even smaller on the pound yen. I'm not even worried about like percentage on this test right now. I just want to see winners and losers and then what's the result. Profit or not. But they're going to tend to do the same thing anyway. So yeah, I'll put a little something on the little test trade on the pound yen as well. So it's just something to observe. I'm not calling this trade for people to be taking this trade. I'm not risking a lot on this trade. It's just something I'm testing. I would not recommend it until I've at least thoroughly tested it, or at least you have, or whatever. So, but I'm bringing something today. But this was something that I observed, right? I wasn't looking for a new trade setup. But I noticed that first, like I was saying about the first hour of London and all that activity and, you know, breaking out of that range, this is totally just unpredictable nonsense here, right? It's like the worst time of day. If you had to narrow it down to one moment you don't want to get into a trade, it's right in here, in my opinion. But what is the result of all that, right? Where do we go now? And there's a lot of built-up activity or effort, right? And so if it can resolve itself and give an answer, and it tends to, now I'm just marking support. I can change the levels, whatever. So it seems to make logical sense. Of course, they are not all winners in my back testing at all. So whatever happens today happens. And yeah, I'm sharing it. You could check it out if you want. So also, again, like I said, applying this to, I haven't tested this trade as much. I only took it a few times, and it was profitable. I don't think I have not taken a loss yet on doing this with the euro dollar at after 10 a.m. New York time. Like we're doing this after 4 a.m. So those have been, I don't know, it was 3 wins or whatever, just testing that out, small account. The first thing I did was look at the charts and back test this, you know, visually. And then I'm like, all right, let's it's not like real time. You know, you got to get down the 5 minute, you know, the 1 hour range, and you get down to the 5 minute. And you got to react in real time and make those decisions. Let me get in there and try this out, you know. What's up? You guys can chat in the chat. We've had 52 views. People seem to just come and go. I'm sharing a live trade that's profitable. All right, we'll see. We'll see about it. We'll see. But if I get up to 40, 50 test trades on my small account and I see that it's profitable, figure out the risk reward and stop loss. Oh my God, I didn't even do a stop loss. Jeez. I'm supposed to be a professional over here. Now the stop loss, again, we're talking about 30 pip range, seems to be what you're looking for. Here goes the trade. You know why I didn't put a stop loss? Because I knew it was going to go. No, I'm just kidding. What you want to do here, from what I've seen so far with the pound dollar, pound yen tends to be more pips than the pound dollar, right, on the same moves. But generally, we're talking about 30 pips, at least, that you got to look for on targets. But they do get bigger. Or sometimes it'll go to 28 and just turn on you. You got to read the chart. You know, if this is coming down, I'm up 25 pips on this, right? And we get the highest volume of the day showing strength. You know what I'm saying? I'm using my skills reading a chart. You know, I'll get rid of risk number one and go from there. But stop loss, what I've been doing is behind the previous 5-minute swing. So the pound yen, the bigger one, and I took a smaller position on this. Even smaller, but if I get it up there to, what is that right there in my chart, 88, that's a 35, 37, that's a 37 pip stop, just to kind of clear that, and then looking at targets, just throwing it out there, like what would be a 1-to-1. That'll be 10, 20, 37. It'll be about here. What was the entry? Whatever it was, let's round it off to 45. So 15 would be 30 pips. Right. All right, so yeah, there's 1-to-1. It's basically right there. And then here, stop loss above the previous 5-minute swing. We'll say 36. How many pips is that? 34, 33. 33.3. 33 pips there. Okay. So you see, it's roughly, all this stuff is roughly in the 30 pip range. And if we're talking 1-to-1 on targets, 30 pips and up. But that has to do with, again, background analysis. Where is support? What's going on down there? Do we run into strength? Do we not? So, I'm back testing it, but it's also, it's not a mechanical system 100%, obviously. So, as far as managing the trade, but if it moves at least 30 pips, you got, I'll consider that, okay, that's a win. Or if it moves 25, 20 pips and it shows huge strength, and that just says to anyone who knows how to read a chart, okay, you probably hit the bottom. You might want to just close most of it and move your stop to break even or whatever, right? On the other hand, the chart could say it's going to keep going, But there's the 1-to-1 kind of deal. So, yeah. Now, it doesn't have to go in a straight line. You know how things go. It's just looking at information and doing nothing unless something crazy happens. But, of course, we can get break, test, continuation pattern, right? the best piece of information you can get as you're sitting in this trade, as I am on my small test account, is seeing lower prices on low volume. That's the best thing you can see. Say, Pete, wouldn't have to be high volume. We want to see lots of sellers. No, because the low prices tell you about buyers. If we're floating like we are now, we'll see how this guy closes, what the volume is on it. Then we're very likely moving down. I mean, generally, this test trade aside that we're doing here, the chart is suggesting that it's on the GU, for example. Here's the low of the session, technically, from much earlier today. But the chart is suggesting we're going to get there. We almost got there. And try to break. And below there, if there isn't strength in high volume, right, then we're expecting to continue. It doesn't necessarily go in a straight line, but that's the checkpoint. And maybe we have something else on the pound similar. I don't know. These spikes are weird sometimes because it's maybe different on your broker. This is like Asia Open spiky business. I don't know. Mine's at 31.7-ish. But anyway, or is that it? 6? What was that? I don't know what that level is. Whatever. That's nothing. But that's the next thing would be testing. We get a little lower. So I didn't really promote this webinar and let anybody know. I haven't been around for a while, so it's not a lot of people, but it'll be on my YouTube channel if you're in the future after October 6th. Hello from the past. And I'm live testing a strategy that has so far been profitable. Certainly not enough data to decide to do it on my main account, but I figured I'd share it and try it, do it live. Okay, we'll do it live. It's the Holy Grail. No, it's not. I'd want it to be at least 70% win rate. At least 70%. Over, 30, 50 trade test run. And again, just doing it helps clarify the rules because you run into questions. How do we manage it if this happens or if that happens? And I'm trying to make everything as black and white so it's not gray area where you make mistakes, So as far as like managing the trade prematurely, there's nothing to do because there isn't high volume strength as any warning sign. Now, if it goes up and just hits the stop off of lack of any high volume, that's a very rare move for it to do at this point. But it could happen. That's why we test. So maybe a break test continuation. But if you look back, let me just point this out while we're sitting here. Nothing to do with the trade. I'm not about to jump into anything else right now. So yesterday, right? This is the 1 hour view without getting into the 5 minute. So I'm not jumping between charts, but just to show this. So yesterday, right, this is the trade we're testing out live today. Low to high of the first hour of London session, right? There it is. This is yesterday. When it finally breaks out, which didn't happen here, happened here. It's the move of the day, right? That's just yesterday. So more times than not, you'll get at least a, decent move, risk reward wise. Here it is this day, right? Day before yesterday, Tuesday. Broke to the downside, Again, you have to look on the 5 minute to confirm these things. There you go. Down move. So below there is what, 50, and then it moves to, so it's a 50-something pip move. 50-something pips right there. Okay, that's just the last 2 days. Let's see here. Oh, maybe we had a loss. What happened this day? I don't know. You have to see the 5 minute. You may have had strength here. Who knows? Here's the first candle. Oh, we have a break to the upside, which, okay, then you got stuck. I have to look back and see what happened on Tuesday. But there's a lot of opportunity to get the hell out of this trade. But that didn't work out so good. Of course, it's not 100%, but you get the idea. Here, once you finished here, right, if there's a long entry there at 9.2 and it moved up to, yeah, so that's a 50 pip move there, right, off of that break. So that's the idea from the 1 hour point of view, 5 minute to confirm or not, or looking to go the other direction, right? But I think this video pretty much now, this stream, which is going to become a video, pretty much explains the rules there. That's the idea. So I've been testing this out, of course, doing my usual setups, my main method, my scalp method. And so finally back to doing a stream after that whole hell and back situation. So maybe I'll do some more each week. Figure that out. I ain't doing the face cam though. It's not happening. I feel like it's pointless, right? When traders are sharing their face in the corner of the screen. Nah. I'll pass. Why? I'll give you a picture of me. You could just look at it while I talk. Right? You know what? Look up Jeff Goldblum, because I've been told I look like Jeff Goldblum. So look up, get a picture of him, put it in the corner of your screen. And just imagine. There you go. Liam Neeson. Okay, so do a face morph between Liam Neeson and Jeff Goldblum, and then you have me. That's all I've been told. But yeah, you don't need a face cam. Looking at charts. Half the time you're looking at me, not half the time, the whole time. You're looking at me, look at a screen. So my eyes are moving around. And I got like no expression on my face or whatever. It's like, you want to be looking at? I don't see the point. So we're sharing this trade today. I brought the goods, maybe, because we're testing it. But we're testing it live, because that's how you really test. Speaking of test, we got a break test continuation pattern. When I say unlikely, there it is. Oh, how nice. Thanks. When I say likely, I say that for a reason. Very unlikely to hit the stop loss right now, being up here, because of this low volume. That's what you want. It would be weird. It would be like a holiday, bank holiday, or news, or something. There it goes. It would be weird. It would be like, okay, if that happens, then not only did the test trade fail today, which is fine, it's been profitable so far, but it would also tell me, okay, the market's a little wacky, like chill out, wait for some normal couple of moves, because buyers are not taking advantage of this low price here by any means, right? And we have a break test continuation pattern right off of that, at least on that one. Off of that support. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. I told you. Now wait. We don't want high volume. Hold on. How many pips are we up? Not enough. This is fun testing live, right? No pressure. Whatever happens. All right, see, I had that marked, that 31. How many pips? What is this? Pound yen. Oh, I'm only up 16 pips. Damn. I couldn't move my stop to break even on a sign of strength. I'm trying to be logical as possible. And, and on the other hand, I don't want to get stopped down either if this is going. But as far as risk reward, right, it's too soon. Shit. Go away, buyers, really. You gonna show up now? Stop it. That's not terrible. I'm just considering, do I move my stop to break even, right? That should be part of the plan. If you see high volume on the way down, stopping the progress, then you just lost some probability on the trade. Just when I got excited. Yeah, I'm going to have to listen to that. Where's my stop? So on GU, it would be 02. Oh, gosh, it's so close. It's right there. See, if I just close it, I kill the risk reward. If I say, oh, look at too much strength, let me get out. It's a tough one. This is why you got to back test, right? See, I want to have a good, clean rule off of this. Like, okay. Warning sign, up 15 pips on the trade. Do you move stop to break even? How much volume does it take? The highest of the session, that would be even worse. At least we didn't get that. That would scare the shit out of me if I had real money. I'd put my stop at break even if I saw that. So, I guess, you got some discretion in the end. You can't get rid of. I don't like that. It's like if it goes wrong, the chart kind of warns you, right? It's not like, oh, what happened? It looks so great. Yeah, it did look great. And it continued down off of looking great. But then that just happened. I can close them at break even, right? I can move my stop to break even. It gets a little hairy, right? Everything looks so simple on paper. I could lower my risk at break even. It could just drop and then I won't have to worry about it, but it's not doing that. Way more demand than we want to see. Way more. I'm just going to have to put my stop at break even. I'm going to have to. All right, we're testing it live. So be it. Could end up being a break even trade. Oh, the worst thing in the world, right? All right, stop at break even. That's definitely got to be part of the part of the plan. An explanation of this trade is when to listen to warning signs, right? This is a good example of that, I think, just seeing this. Stop at break even. I'm doing that now on both trades. Stop at break even pound yen. Stop at break even pound dollar. Okay. So, what do you think? Pete, you've lost your mind. What kind of trade is this? Hi, 9 viewers and 67 views. We're trading live. We're testing a method that has been profitable that I'm taking in my side account, small account. Short on the pound. Stop at break even due to strength. Fake break pattern. See, if this was like I was talking about earlier, right? It all comes around and makes sense. Let's say this was the low we were looking to break to get in the trade, right? And it looked like that. There you go. There's an example of that's going to be a long entry, right? So being short and seeing that, let's get rid of risk. If that didn't show up, I wouldn't have moved my stop to break even so early, right? Listening to the chart. And it's the high volume off a low price, particularly with a bullish reaction to seal the deal and say that increase in activity, now no matter what happens, it doesn't change this. Increase in activity involved buying. Otherwise, we'd, right? I always talk about this stuff. You know this. If you know me. If the market got that busy on a down move, should have been a huge move. But we actually went nowhere. So it involves large buying. If the market became that busy because of orders rushing into the sell side majority, we would have really moved down, right? Here we go. Come on. Let's go. We're still in this. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the replay of the stream. One day, if you're watching in the future. I brought the goods today. I'm sharing the trade setup. Free of charge. Been testing it. It's been working. We're sitting in profit. Stop at break even. Extra trade in the toolbox. Likely you'll set up 3 or 4 days a week. Maybe 5. Now with this stuff, you want to check news. Most days are fine. You might want to avoid interest rate decisions. Big days like that. Again, volume on here trying to move down, right? Again. So, it is what it is. The chart has spoken. It said, yeah, your trade was okay. It was decent. Started off nice. And then it ran into real world. It ran into some buying. We had this level marked already. What was it? Oh, it's the low of the day. And that brought some buyers. So be it. We got rid of risk. Whatever happens, happens. But we went in the right direction at the time. Certainly all good on a break test continuation off the short. New low ground. Okay, let's see if we can get through it. Now, if we get through this and it plays out further, that shows the power of the setup, guys. It's powerful, guys. I don't talk like that. Now we'll see what happens. If there's actually demand showing up now, that means another leg down might be the low. Like one more push down and then another pop in volume and demand, and that's it. And we move up, right? So just listening to what the chart's telling us. Entry on the pound yen was 51.1, 163.51.1. Pound dollar short was 113.02.7. Stop at break even. Am I missing chat messages? Oh, I was on top chat, not live chat. Oh, okay. Ugly face. That's what I missed. Oh, when I was talking about the face. I'm gonna put my face in the corner. I'm gonna wear a mask though. Not a COVID mask. Freddy Krueger mask. All right. Maybe I'll just trade live, right? Share all my trading activity. Get a big group going. But I'll wear a Freddy mask the whole time. I have the knives on the fingers, but I can't take the trade, so that's not going to work. All right, we're looking good. Or at least better than we were a minute ago. Shorting the pound on a test trade today. Looking profitable. Again. Yes. There we go. Last thing I ever thought was I'd come up with a new trade setup at this point in life. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. All right, so I'm up 25 pips on the pound yen, right? So now I'm starting to get into my one-to-one territory. Give or take on the testing of the setups, right? As I showed behind the previous 5-minute swing. We end up give or take 30 pips, 35 pips. Today's a little bigger. 37 pips was, what was it? I forgot. 30 something on one of them. The other one's a little smaller. I don't remember. It's at break even now, my stop. But yeah, I took these trades again, testing live the system on my side account. I'm up $70. About $77. All right, let's see. What was it? Where's the thingy on this platform? Oh, there we go. I'm up $82. Okay, maybe I'll start banking some. Now, exit is, I don't know, it is what it is. You're in profit. Leave me alone. I need some exit rules, I guess. For me, it's once I get into nearing my 30 pip range profit, then I know I can start closing. All right? It's that simple, right? Because that's one-to-one. But it's also in combination with what is the chart telling me. If there's huge strength here, I'm closing most of the trade. You know what I mean? This is, there's no issue now, but there was. It's not like there's real serious lack of buyers. We kind of saw that there was some buyers. So here's what I'll do. I'll close half. Pound yen. Let's see, what did I do here? Okay, I'll close half. I'm going to close half of them. Half of the position. Let's see, pound yen. Where am I? Ugh, I gotta restart the app. So there you go. The only drawdown was the break test continuation pattern. You could live with that. That was a bearish pattern. We just had to sit through it. So closing half of each position right now. Just give me 1 second. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah, maybe I'll make $100 on my test trade today in my side account. Cool. All right. And I'll leave my stop at break even. Cha-ching. Cha-ching sound effect. Sir, another winner. Another winner testing out this new trade setup that I have invented. I take credit for it. Me. If you ever see anyone else do it, just got to say that for the record. Any feedback you guys want to give now in the live chat, or if you're watching this video in the future? Pete, that's a terrible trade. You've just been lucky. Well, then I'm really lucky. No, but yeah, let me know what you think. It's nice to have something that's that rigid as far as like time of day and levels. Some of the discretion is completely taken out. It's 90% mechanical. It's those decisions you have to make, right, with the volume and those things we were looking at live today, which was good to see. And again, if you don't know my material, as far as dealing with that stuff, the 5-minute volume, right? Watch my other videos. I also have a course. Subscribe to the channel. Do the bell thing. We'll do more of this. So I closed half the positions on the pound yen and pound dollar short. Stop is at break even, and it's just more managing based on what I'm seeing. The latest low does not have any sort of significant volume increase like we were dealing with before. So that's a positive turn for the trade. Good piece of information. And that suggests we're going to try to pop down, and again, we'll kind of judge from there. This is the 1-minute chart, yes. Judge from there how low we may expect it to go or whatever. But if you want more of this, let me know. Pete, this is good. Let's do more. Would be the kind of thing, I mean. But yeah, check out this trade. Check out the trade I shared today. If you think it's worth your time. Back test it. Check it out. Forward test it on a demo. Like I said, once I have at least 30 trades, really 50 probably, range, I'll make a conclusion about like really trading it on my main account and considering it. You know, what's the win rate? Get the answer on that. Like I said, it's at least 70 from what I'm seeing and back testing and doing live so far. There are losses, obviously, and I'm saying at least 70. It's probably, if I had to take a guess, 80, 85, maybe. Okay, 80. I don't know. But also it being, almost every day, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, maybe 5, to get a setup. If you have an 80% win ratio, you're going to be profitable at the end of every week. I haven't seen any situation where you end the week off in negative taking this trade. I have not seen that. Okay, so if it comes and hits my break even, well, that's why I closed some. But at the same time, I didn't close all of it because I'm trying to maintain a decent risk reward, right? So if you just look at yesterday, Wednesday, October 5th, if you look at Tuesday, October 4th, the last 2 days, it moved more than this. Typically, the trade does. So I think it's logical at this point and risk reward wise to hold out for more. If it hits break even, so be it. What's up? Quiet in the chat. There's not a lot of people here. I fell off the face of the earth, so that might happen, right? I'm still here. I exist. I think it was like February, the last time I live streamed. I don't know, March. Pound yen, I'm only up 5 pips from my break even. That's fine. Again, one of the main things affecting my decision, as we saw in real time, was we had an issue with buyers. Luckily, it did go further to grab some profit at a decent pip count, having entered here and then gotten there. But like I said, when it happened, no matter what happens going forward, it doesn't change. The past doesn't change. There is demand lurking around. Like I'm highlighting here. So this looked a little better, but it's kind of like damage was done. We know there's buyers. So good time to take some profit, get rid of risk. All right, there's a good live example of managing the trade. I think it's as far as if people want to go ahead and do this trade, once I really test it out a little further, so far so good. It's the patience and on the entry. It's the looking at the volume and the candle close on that breakout of the range, and really saying, is this right or not? To go short in today's example, or to go long on a fake break. Maybe we'll get an example of that if I keep live streaming these. And then the managing the trade based on what you're seeing. The trader might say, you need to have if my stop was 35 pips, whatever it was, I need to have at least a 35 pip target. 1-to-1 in risk reward, blah, 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 right? Yeah, but then again, it's me. Which means I'm going to go according to what the chart is telling me also, considering both. Of course, I want a good risk reward, but if probability turned against me, I'm not just going to say, well, risk reward, I'm going to manage the trade, right? Again, same thing on the other hand, where if we started moving down and we did not see the high volume, it was all just kind of flat and even as we floated down, I'd be sitting here going, oh, cool, we're likely to get more than 30 pips on this. We might get 50, we might get 80, right? Just go back, test, and see. So listening to the chart, that's never going to change. All right, good. This was a good live documentation of this, testing this trade out. It was profitable. And I'm hanging on to a portion here if we don't get stopped out of break even. If this trade becomes popular, you know who invented it, because I didn't get it from anybody. Not that I want credit. I just don't want someone else getting the credit. I don't care. I don't need the credit. I just don't want someone else saying they invented it. No. So cool. This is something maybe to continue doing live. We could count the win-loss ratio. So far, it's 1-0. We could look at, we could even run some of these numbers through some sort of analytics. I don't know, at some point. But the proof is in the outcome of the trades either way, right? I expect these to be profitable over time. All right, what else? We got the Discord, which has like 300 people, but 20 are active, but 2 post. But yeah, I haven't been around, so maybe we'll get that going again. If I hang on to this trade, man, the pound dollar is got like within maybe 3 or 4 pips from the break even. I'd be pretty lucky if we catch another leg down then. Stream quality okay? I'm just checking because I haven't streamed in a while and I had to reset some things up. I don't have the compressor EQ on my voice, so it's not as silky. All right. Stream quality okay? I'm just checking because I haven't streamed in a while and I had to reset some things up. There's nothing silky about my voice. I know. All right, we'll see what happens. It's close to break even on the remaining portion. Very close. And you know what's going on now? Well, we did run into some buying, didn't we? What should we do now? Scalp the 1 minute. Let's apply Wyckoff to the 1 minute chart and see what happens. I bet it works. But this is sort of a could go either way situation because of these factors of, should I go back to 5 minute home base? Of the strength coming in into that area as we saw in real time, but then able to go lower and not see strength. This says something about bearishness likely to continue. This says something about turning around. So you kind of have, not a high probability outcome right now, right? If it moves up, you say, oh, there was strength. If it moves down, you say, well, there were no buyers the last try, so I went. So it's not high probability. If this had high volume, of course, I'd be saying, I'm looking to go long. So, and that could happen on another attempt to move down and more high volume and proper accumulation instead of that sort of thing there. Am I making my charts big enough? Yeah. Could go either way. Maybe the trade itself has a little built-in probability that we're going to the downside because we are staying below the initial range that we broke out of, that we needed to get out of, right? A fake break of that range would have given and back into it would have given us potentially a long. But we did a break test continuation. That's nice. look around at other analysis while we're sitting here. That was really what I wanted to do today, was show that. But this did set up for a long yesterday. I'm sitting here thinking, everybody that learned my method is going along with me right now. Come on, let's go. There was another one right there. Come on, fader traders. Oh, that makes me cringe. But somebody actually posted that one in the Discord, so I know somebody out there. And then again, yesterday, 5-minute confirm with strength, right? And that was a decent sized move if you held on to it there, certainly. What did it move? 60 pips or something. Nice 618 overshoot. Come on. Bread and butter right there. So that's in our background, right? Highest volume in our recent background is the strength off of this. If we revisit there and again get our buyers, you know, even if we just do that, that's a good trade today. Even if we just range, but we get another long like yesterday here. Oh, one of them closed break even on the remaining, on my trade there. The pound yen. Okay. So now looking at the, damn, why does this app, trading on the phone, not the greatest idea. Pound yen is out. Come on, open. Pound dollar, I'm still in. Okay. Anyway. Going forward now, that's a W. Again, if we drop down here, that long is a no-brainer. 5-minute setup. Also interested in what's happening in this middle range, which we just hit now. As far as demand coming in there, not much. Not having done a complete and thorough analysis because I was focused on this test trade in the stream today so far. But from what I've seen so far is we're likely to continue down, maybe another leg generally. You know, strong dollar, strong yen bringing things down in the next hour or two, whatever. And then likely running into, you'll see when you get there, buyers and demand for an up move. That's probably generally the situation. Again, here, just look at the Australian dollar. This happened yesterday on the dollar pairs. The strength in the background, right? On the fake break. This is textbook strength. And then lack of any sort of weakness or deal coming in. We started to see some buying on the pound. We haven't seen it here, but again, we could be getting this just like the euro dollar yesterday set up. Now, normally I don't like drawing fibs in a range condition like this. But once this happened, the imbalance of large demand, low supply, this becomes an area to watch, right, every time. And if the buyers don't show up here, and we'll know from the volume reaction, we'll know from our 5-minute setups, which are nice and straightforward. We saw some of that 5-minute action today. And we end up down there, then I'll be looking for the trade there. It is non-farm week. Tomorrow is the big news. I'll trade probably light, if at all, tomorrow. As far as testing the new trade on the pound that I'm doing, I might just observe tomorrow. Non-farm, yeah. If there's one day a month that's just can just do whatever it wants and you can't say anything, it's the first Friday of the month. Just let it happen, right? Maybe just observe. Hey. We're here today. We did a trade. It was profitable, yay. Trying to entertain. Okay, so the other one closed. All right, that's that. Nice slippage. Thanks, broker. All right, cool. So that's the move that the method... It may go down further and whatever. It's a management thing. But at least we grabbed the move, and there was the entry right there. Right? This was technically the support, whatever. Okay, so by here you've cleared everything. Oh, and the 5 minute, you had to wait for that to close, right? Yeah. So that was the entry on the 5 minute close right there. And you see at the time that low volume says very likely you're going to get something good on this trade. And then we did run into some issue there after that. And then here, the 5 minute close right there. There's the entry on that trade. How much did that move? Oh, about 30 pips. There you go. That closed at 4, so we'll round it off to 50. Or we'll round it off to 4 or 5 spread. And 20. All right, 25 pips, yeah. But yeah, testing it. It's been profitable. It's just another trade in the toolbox. So the more I trust this, the more I'll start doing it on my main account. So far, so good. Along with my usual trades, along with scalp trades. Keep me busy. It's like it's got to be a minimum 3 trades a week, maybe 4 or 5 on this setup alone. Looks like that was a good exit too. Now we're back into range. Now we're back into that 1 hour candle range. And that really tells you something. This is almost there. We'll see, a little higher. This is already there, right? We're back to where we started. So it's not such an eventful, right? Here's London Open. We're back to that price. We've come back to the London Open price. We've actually gone nowhere in the end. We came down and we just came back. At least we caught the down move so far. Yeah, I'm really liking this trade. It was a little out of my comfort zone at the beginning, having a rigid like time and range set like that. Definitely not something I normally do. Of course, integrating other things that I do reading the chart. It's kind of cool. Good exit. Good exit. Nice. All right, maybe I'll end the stream soon. If you're watching, say what's up. Anything you want to look at, let me know. But at this point now, I just wanted to do that testing and focus on that, share that today. Now I'm going to get back to my regular stuff. Would really like to see that one more leg down on the euro dollar, showing strength in a long entry. That would be the easy, higher probability trade today, buying off of this low. I would do it here on a fib retracement, but the volume is just not there backing up the long entry yet. Now, if things just start trending up and there's not weakness coming in and off we go with strength in the background, of course I can get a scalp entry, right? The other method. That's my plan. Background certainly strength. But today we haven't seen a ton of buyers make me want to go long yet. That little spike issue with the pound, but let's see. For the most part, it's the same story. Yen's not as much volume yesterday off of that, but they're more or less correlating. But it seemed to be a dollar focused thing. It was the New York session. There's the dollar index and that reversal. And that'll all correlate likely where this guy, even if we're talking about the euro dollar long setup I pointed out, can correlate with this going on. You'll even see weakness. I think the dollar index is more heavily weighted toward the euro than anything else. I'm not sure how Pepperstone does it or whatever. I think so. But it's good to keep an eye on that. That's what really caused that whole move on everything yesterday. At that time of day, of course. Weakness came in on the dollar. So, good chance on my regular method for those who know that. Have the course, the main course, watch my videos, whatever. Yeah. You probably already know. It's looking for these down moves and strength to buy today. For the bullseye trade, for the one good one, the highest probability today is that so far, unless volume tells us otherwise, something else happens. Where have I been? I went to hell and I returned. Hell and back. Oh, indicators. You know me, I'm always pushing indicators. I'll tell you where I've been, yes. A quick recap, because I already... I don't want to dwell on it too much, but I had back surgery. I was in hell. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I got real skinny. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks. The pain was unbearable. Doctors gave me the runaround, tried to take my money. And then I found this lovely surgeon who says, I'm going to fix that right up for you. Here's what you got to do. And I believed him. And it worked. And I'm good now. So it's good to be back to full health and back to my life. It's crazy when all of a sudden you have to just stop everything. And you get to that point where, okay, it's time to text everybody I know. You know, and be like, everything is on hold right now. We're doing nothing. Cancel. I can barely walk. This is it. Like everything stops now. I can't even sit to trade. I would have to lay down on my side. Weird. I couldn't even lay on my back. I spent 90% of the time kneeling. My knees became sore. Anyway, I'm back. Yay. Anyone with sciatica, these problems, you know what I'm talking about. My God. The hell? Out here suffering, people with sciatica. Is there a sciatica fund I can donate to? Because people are suffering. It's bad. I'm going to start a sciatica foundation. I'll take you to pay for your doctor's appointment, travel fees. I mean, people are fucked up. I had my wife saved my life. If it wasn't for that, let's say I didn't have money, I couldn't drive. I couldn't sit on a bus. People think I'm out of my mind, screaming in pain, you know? My wife saved my life, really. Come on. What if I didn't have my wife? What if I didn't have money? You know, like, I saw on Facebook, you know, I joined a Facebook group looking at the people with this problem. And, man, there's a whole world of hell going on. Terrible. Anyway. Help a sciatica sufferer today. That's my message. It's a whole world of pain nobody even knows about, talks about. But if you know, you know. Yeah, it's so good to be back. Like, I didn't know how fully I would recover. That's what made it hell, is because you don't know. Am I coming back fully? Like, I play drums and stuff. Like, am I done? Is it over? nerve damage, swollen leg, numb toes, numb. I still have numb places on my feet. They're completely numb. I was like, is it over? This is it? It's time to live like an old man? I'm done. Oh, thank God. All right, there you go. That was supposed to be the short version. Damn. That's a good reason to not be on YouTube for a while. Yeah, that was not going to happen. So it was cool to come back today with some new goodies, as in testing a new trade setup that we did live today and was profitable. Been back testing it. It's been going very well. It'll be cool maybe just to live stream and share that trade as we do it. Because, rigid rules, but there is some chart reading skills that come into entry and management, which again is nothing new, stuff that I've shown. But it's cool to do, instead of sitting here waiting for setups that maybe, an hour or two away and with nothing to do, at least at this time of day, it's like, okay, here's the setup we're looking for, here's our range, here's what it's got to do. And most days it will set up. Most days it will. So that's an idea. Something to do. Test it live. Well, I've been testing it on my own, so I already know. So far, so good. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I figure people come and go and repeat the point of this live stream. Well, now that that's done, and I've talked about what I'm looking for today as far as my regular trade, which is the down move and the strength, especially on the dollar pairs in particular. It looks like we're getting our down move, maybe, hopefully. It could be around U.S. that we get it. It is the day before non-farm. Tomorrow's non-farm employment number, big news. So this is that funky time. Don't make any demands on the charts. Could be worried about tomorrow. We could range, have shitty chop, and then tomorrow the high impact news. We shoot off somewhere. So that's just what it is right now. As a reminder. Is this it? Is it over? That was my life. I'm done. It's really not pleasant thoughts. Oh my God. It was so terrible, but I want to laugh at it now. I was traumatized, really, by what I just went through. Traumatized. I slept kneeling on my knees. My knees became very sore, and the joints were killing me because my weight was on my knees most of the time. 20 hours a day, I was on my knees and leaning on the couch. Like, so if you have a couch, so you put a pillow on the floor, then you lean, and your top half goes onto the couch or onto the bed. That's how I was all day and night, with my face like in the pillows. Going, this is it. It's over. I got really skinny too. It looked good. Gained that weight back fast. I think I was a little too skinny. Couldn't eat. You know who just went through the same thing? Billy Joel. Local here. If you notice, Billy Joel, the piano guy, singing guy, he lost weight finally, right? He was overweight for like 20 years. And it was the same time that I was going through this shit, and I see him all skinny, and I go, he got sick. He got sick. And then I go watch an interview, and he's like, yeah. And he had what I had, plus some other thing. I think he had a hip problem, a hip replacement or hip something. But that's how and he goes, yeah, pain is a good way to lose your appetite. Like when it's really that bad, 24/7. That I knew it. Like, whoa, Billy Joel's skinny now. What the? He got sick. I was right. All right, I guess I'll end the stream. I'm back. I'll try to make videos. I'll try to live stream. Subscribe, hit the bell. Chat in the chat. I'm sharing this trade at no charge. I'm giving it away. Testing it live. So far, so good. We'll see the results once we get up to 30, 50 trades, what it looks like. So far, so good. Today, another winner. All right, guys. I guess I'll end it there. Enjoy your health. If you can lay down, get up, walk around, run, enjoy it. Sleep, eat. It's good to be back. Frickin' second chance at life over here. All right, people. Go help somebody with sciatica today. 1-800-HELP-SCIATICA, people. It's too many numbers. All right, guys. I will be back streaming soon. Join the Discord. All those things. We're going to trade live. More and more to come. All right, see you. Then thanks for your concern, everybody. Thank you.